$40,000 car and you made $200,000, you're really reporting to Uncle Sam 150. You can write off the equipment immediately. So that $50,000 car, if you're in a $40,000 tax bracket, really costs you like 25. I don't know if I got that exactly right.
What you're, like Sam right on accounting principles is the depreciation.
Well,
So it's
yeah.
an accelerated depreciation. of
Yes.
equipment.
Yeah, because you're right. If you sold it 2 years from now, you got to recapture that. But if you use it for 7 years, you fully depreciate it. So you're right. So I did that, right? Inflated the furniture at $250, right? Bought the building for $2.5. So now Wells came back and said, well, that's cool. Your building appraised at $2.25.
Oh, because of the money.
Yeah. And it's funny because the guy on the other side that does a lot of commercial deals, this is why you want to stay in your lane. The guy on the other side that does a lot of commercial deals told me, dude, don't do it that way, you're fucking yourself. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not, because my accountant, sorry for the F-bomb. And I go, no, I'm not. I said, no, I'm not, because the accountant told
Turn the
me
camera off.
that I'll get an immediate write-off. And he goes, yeah, but it's the same thing as putting in the couch, the TV, and all that kind of stuff in a residential loan, right? So now I'm talking to my wife this morning, and she goes, you should know better than that. And then I'm like, so that goes to tell you, right? You talk to 5 different people, they'll tell you 5 different ways. So now I got to come up with another $200,000.
Well, unless you negotiate the price down with the seller.
Well, but remember the seller told me don't put the furniture in. So the furniture was $250. How much did the appraisal come in?
You inflated the furniture. What's
No,
the
you
furniture?
paid for the first.
No, no.
it's just inflated it.
Well, I did for that purpose, but the price of the building was still the same.
They're saying the price of the building is $250
You need the furniture?
No, no, it doesn't.
Tell the guy I'll give you 2.25,
It has nothing
take
to
the
do with the
furniture out and he'll
furniture.
just
I should at least check in. Yeah, they're still talking. I got them on mute.
Yeah. Dude, here's your ding 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 ding.
Man, I am like on overload. Aren't we all right now, right? I mean, it's crazy out there. All right, so I got a good article for you guys. So there's 4 things as we evolve around this new disruptors. And part of that's going to be around moving the ball on people finding you digitally, right? So one of the most important things you can do right now is improve your online presence. Now, we've been preaching that forever, right? But it's more important than ever. Like, if you don't have scottdexter.com, Scott?
I don't.
Yeah, why?
I should.
All right.
I
Yeah.
used to.
Dude, I was just picking on you. Do you have game to trade us? All right. So, listen, guys. You are your brand. It's a combination of you and Remax coming together to do this, right? Tell me you had Tom Stevens. Okay, good.
I have my name.
Okay, good. Right. Because that's where it all starts, right? So and then you have to get your own YouTube channel. Absolutely. Who said that?
I have mine.
Yeah, you said that? Yeah. Get your own. Yeah.
Everything, LinkedIn, Facebook,
Thank you. Keep going.
Instagram,
Keep going.
Snapchat.
Twitter. I don't do Twitter, but I do everything else.
Yeah.
If you were looking, who's a surfer?
Wave surfer.
All right. If you were looking at a wave and you wanted to catch a big wave, right? The first start of the wave is get a Gmail account with your name, right? And now you got a 2-foot wave, right? Now, when you take that and you rebrand your name, not rebrand your name, but launch it again to, I'll just pick a site, Zillow, right? Now the wave got 2 feet for 3 feet, right? And then you go Facebook, and you're posting videos, liking stuff, getting acquainted, right? Now you got a 5-foot wave, right? And then when you go LinkedIn, and you go YouTube, now you got an 8-foot wave. And then you go LinkedIn, YouTube, and then you start tweeting, right? And now you got a wave that people can't, yeah.
A little tidbit. Google owns YouTube, so when someone's Googling Colleen Davis or Scottsdale True North Homes and you have a True North YouTube video, that YouTube video comes up first on Google because Google and YouTube are friends. Facebook video does not come up
Yeah,
on
you
Google
have to
search
be on
because
Facebook.
Facebook and Google don't like each other.
Okay.
Yeah, they're,
Yeah. And don't post your YouTube on Facebook, take the organic file,
correct,
post
correct.
it.
Yeah, posting a YouTube link on Facebook won't play the.
Wait, posting a
Like-
YouTube
Video.
Video.
on
So
Facebook gives you
copy-
no,
You don't do it, because
So copy
YouTube doesn't
the
want to
YouTube
see
link, yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook, and Facebook doesn't want to see YouTube.
People don't go through the,
So pretty much what you post on
upload your
Facebook,
file
post it on
organically
YouTube
up
too,
to-
Yeah.
independently, on
Okay.
your accounts. Because you won't,
You can convert it to
Yeah,
an
talk to each
MP4
other.
and repost
Okay.
it on YouTube.
All
yeah,
right.
definitely.
So-
It takes a few steps.
so improved online presence.
It's a whole other class. though.
Everyone Googles everything, including you. Googleability needs to be top notch. Your website, social media page, all needs to be updated. Agent competition will pop up in their search, and you will need to stand out in a network of referrals site like HomeLight, UpNest, Zillow, Yelp, all those deals, and it's endless, it's endless. I mean, remember back, well, I'm gonna date myself, but back in like 88, right? If you didn't have a website, you didn't really exist, right? It kind of replaced Yellow Pages, right? So now it all starts with that. So those of you who don't have your name, you need to go to GoDaddy today and frickin' buy it and get it done. Because, and I'll tell you this, you're 10 years behind.
yeah.
So that's a fundamental, you're literally 10 years behind, right? So you got a lot to do to catch up. Like my website now is 24 years old.
That's a little outdated.
Well, I've updated it.
That's a lot
But-
of Google Analytics stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
thank
A
you.
lot
So-
of
so yeah,
analytics,
yeah.
Which is on
And-
top of what you pay.
Yeah, so now, and because I have that, I can point it to another site, but you're right, you get love for how long, just like a credit card on credit ratings, they tell you never get rid of an old credit card, ever.
How do you often, do you update that? Your web page?
Oh, I don't know. It's, right now it could be
There's, I
updated.
don't think there's anything wrong with, so on GoDaddy, if you guys don't know, they're so cheap. So I own 144 Earls.
Wow,
They're so cheap.
They
A
are.
lot of them you get now. and-
$7.
And let me ask
Yeah, that's
you,
true.
let me ask you a question. Because you mentioned, I've been on Hosted Exchange, so all my emails, frank@finelleteam.com, colleen@finelleteam.com, that's my emails. Because I was told at one time I had a Gmail account, and the gal who did all my posting on my Hosted Exchange said, it doesn't look as professional as if you had Dell at dellrounds.com or Dell at RTT
RTT RTT Home Group.
RTTHomegroup.com.
Did you see we
or something.
relaunched that?
Yeah. So the question I have, is there some reason has Gmail made a comeback on email
Yes.
where now we should be utilizing Gmail? Because it's always been that if you have a Gmail account, you couldn't either afford to get your own exchange, or that that you didn't have that presence. Does anybody know?
Back in the
do-
day with Google, you could do, for free, you could do, it was called, I forgot what it's called, but you could do, because that's what mine is. I have a Nicole at choicearizonhomes.com, and it was, back in the day, it was called Google, I can't remember what it was, now it's G Suite. But, I don't know what they do now.
Dallas, you know the answer to
It would
that?
convert it, business accounts for free.
No,
No,
I don't know
email.
either.
Okay. I was just curious because I didn't know, because I see down here especially, a lot of people have Gmail email accounts.
It takes like,
Must've been
yeah, it's like
Colorado
$10
thing.
to convert it, so. it's
Could
not
be.
a big deal.
Yeah,
I've
all
never
right.
heard of
Does
it.
anybody use Remax as their, you
I
can
have.
do,
I have.
how's that performing for you?
Good. It looks
Yeah, because
good. Branded.
I mean, you could do that too. The only reason why I've never coached that is because if you ever want to leave the Remax brand,
Yeah.
right? So I've always been like a consultant in that realm to where, you know what, be free. right? Don't,
Yeah.
because Remax coaches me, oh, have all your agents on there, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. I just want to be, good
Tell you
business.
what, wait till you see that bouge. that
Oh,
they
I
roll
know.
out. That
Oh
is
my,
gonna be
there
sick.
is good stuff coming out.
Yeah.
There's,
a lot.
so everybody's raving about it from R4. It's the company that Remax bought,
Yeah, last year.
I think it was more than that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like 4 years ago. But they hired the guy,
The VOU.
their lead IT guy is the one that invented ATMs. Yeah, I know, it gave me the chills. Yeah. So, Booge, B-O-O-J.
We're gonna roll it out,
Something like
we're gonna get it
that.
in
I think it's J,
October.
yeah.
Yep, I heard
Everyone
September.
else is getting it like.
Yeah, so who gave, so stay close to Mac Center,
Mhm.
is what I would tell you guys, to stay close to Mac Center. They're gonna, in fact, I got an update yesterday that I didn't,
Yeah.
we should have all got an email, you got it, Nicole? Yeah, you should have all got an email about something about updating something to be on there.
Change your password.
Yeah, they updated it.
Okay.
Oh, they're out of Colorado,
Yeah, they were a Denver-based company. I think Remax bought them for like 41 million or something like that. All right, always be learning. Yeah.
Does everyone have Fidelity Agent One on their
Yeah.
phone?
You might.
Do you know that there's marketing materials in there that you can use to post to social media, and it'll give you scenarios like rent versus buy and all sorts of different things. So you can put in the scenario, and it's as easy as saying post to Facebook,
And it's branded to you, it's awesome.
and it's branded to you, and so that's a great content
It's a
resource
free
for you
app called
guys.
Fidelity Agent One N, or O-N-E, I can't spell one. It used to be the number one, now it's the.
Right.
I used to work for Fidelity, for people that don't know that.
So what is
I
it?
know that.
It's Fidelity and then what?
Just
Fidelity Agent
O-N-E.
Yeah.
O-N-E.
Fidelity
huh?
Agent.
O-N-E.
And it's an app.
O-N-E.
Um,
It's an app,
it's
it's
a
free
closing-
unless you do
Fidelity
the, I
Agent.
recommend getting the one-time upgrade of $13, correct?
No, it's only $10 now.
$10
I
now?
did that.
Will you need
Awesome,
that?
yeah, because that's where you get all the flyers, unlimited flyers, and you can customize them depending on the number you're talking about, the rent versus buy number or
It's $10.
the seller net.
$9.99.
It's cool.
Okay.
I mean, when I worked at Fidelity, there's money to have one listing appointments by using that
I
app,
don't know, a couple
showing
weeks
the
ago.
seller what they're gonna net right away by
A
texting that
gentleman ended
cool
up talking to
flyer
him and he's a
right
realtor, he
to,
said, Tell
the
Bill.
seller, right in front of them.
carefree.com.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He said,
Rob will
"Did,
show you how to
his
do
name's
it, or I
Will."
can show you how to do it.
Oh,
I'm
Will
happy
Flynn?
to. Or any of the
Good
Fidelity
looking guy.
representatives can.
It's by far like
Said
my
he
agent's
owns
favorite
Carefree
tool.
.com.
Stewart
Okay.
Title now.
I'll look at it.
Stewart Title has it too. Okay. So ask,
I'll check it out.
ask Melissa too.
So I put
I'll
the.
check it out.
I think that's right, I'm doing it. See, I'll just have to open up the shit.
Yeah, go ahead and take it. All right,
Fidelity owns
so
Chicago as well.
everybody raise their right hand, fold it, pat yourself on the back. Always be learning. So you guys are all doing that today. You're investing in your career. In the age of referrals, mediocre agents still did well for themselves because the customers had few options. Now, competition is fierce. You will need to be on top of your game. Consider signing up for continuing education classes or finding podcasts or the Solution Real Estate podcast or a way to keep your skills sharp, right? So you do want to, you want to, you want to look at those, who gets the Hardy videos every morning? Yeah, Darren Hardy. Those are pretty good. They're pretty sharp. I think he puts out one every day now. Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, Buffini. Those guys are still very relevant, right? Like even we switched our name from Circle Prospecting to
Neighborhood Watch.
Neighborhood Walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, right? In Neighborhood Walk. Your Pam is no longer Pam. What did we call you at the very beginning?
Pam?
I'm not sure.
What would you really say?
Well, I was reading the Wall Street Journal, and they said like the 10 hippest job titles, and that's where I got lead wrangler, information wrangler. Make that I didn't make it up. I read it in the Wall Street Journal, right? So I try to read that cover to cover every day, right? So I know what's going on with gold prices. I know what's going on with oil prices. I know what's going on in the Treasury deal. I know where the China talks are. Because
You better.
it's fascinating now. You know, all the shipyards are stacked to the gills right now. Have you guys been reading about this stuff in LA? So China's trying to get all their imports now in case in case there is a tariff war. So it's stacked to the gills. They've shipped all this shit over, and now they're all sitting at the ports. There's warehouse spaces. Like I don't think the ships can unload right now. It's
Well,
crazy.
the ships are out at sea.
They're just sitting there. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I keep
All right.
going to the dollar store and they don't have anything there.
Dollar store's shut down.
Dollar store is out. Another big
Stores up.
300 stores.
Gone?
Dollar
Dollar
store
was yesterday.
Dollar General.
$3.99.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Got bought out by.
They are gonna rebrand though as Family Dollar, just
Okay, thanks.
strategic.
Be ready for objections. People make excuses to those who are trying to sell them something. People make excuses for people that are trying to sell them something. That's why we always got to be a consultant, right? Identify what makes you valuable and be ready to sell yourself to a potential client. Okay? So, what does that mean in our field? Like I like to, when I come into a listing appointment, I like to say, here's what the RPR report said, kind of automatic computing, right? Here's what I say, here's what Zillow says, and by the way, here's your instant offer. Right? Because now you're being a consultant, right? So why not go to, what's the company you guys partnered with? That's
Cerberus.
Yeah, that's it. So
Well,
write down
it is.
Cerberus, write down Cerberus, write that down.
We were buying houses.
CERBERUS.
CERB, okay. If it's something under 400,000, right?
I think it's 30.
No,
It's 4 now?
they actually have a couple of buy boxes because the company handling it is Venture REI. They have several investors now, so what they've got is the buy box up to 300,000, single family residence built after 1960, minimum 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, single family residence, and now they're.
Oh, so they don't like multifamily.
No.
Okay, can you invite them into one of these meetings?
I've sold some properties to them.
I can try.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Really easy.
But
So
then,
tell-
here's the other part of it though, is now they have another investor who's trying to fill that gap that Open Door won't buy between let me back
What
up.
is it?
All this stuff up to 300,000, they're buying and then turning into rental properties.
Right.
For that 500 to 750, they are doing more of an Open Door model where they're putting it right back on the market. So they're trying to fill that segment that Open Door is not covering right now. So
And who
there's-
is that?
Cerberus.
That's not Cerberus, it's just another investor that Venture REI brought in, so you can submit those
Oh.
properties to them in that, for that scenario as well.
You submit
For
a
the
Cerberus.
It sounds like it's, but you still submit them to Cerberus.
You still submit them, I'll send you guys the link, it's
Yeah.
not
Do
real,
that.
you can't Google it and find it.
Jennifer
It's-
sent it out.
it's-
All right, so let me give you guys an example of what I did yesterday. So I have a guy that's I've done like 5 deals with, and I've been working this expired account. I walked an offer to him yesterday. I handed him an offer from this guy that can close in 30 days. He can pick his move out, right? We can still play roles in those sectors. You just got to connect the dots a little bit faster. So that's what I see when I see be ready for objections. So let me revisit this. People make excuses to those who are trying to sell them something, right? So you got to convert over to being a consultant, saying here's Zillow, here's the RPR, here's my number, and here's your instant offer. And then advise them, right? Even on the instant offer, you're still getting paid, right? I mean, you're still getting paid by getting that done. There's just no buyer's agent involved, and then
What's
it's
an instant offer?
an instant. You can get an instant offer
Open
from
Oh.
Open Door, Zillow, Cerberus, and then I have investors that will buy that up. So you become, go more, it's changing, right? You gotta be ready for this type of stuff. And then just advise them. Like I always show them the chart that says, look, here's what's happening. And this is where we're blessed, right? We're blessed because our market, does everybody agree our market's still doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, right? Here's what gets fascinating to all these other ones. What happens when because it's gonna happen. What happens when it starts doing this?
It may not do that totally, but it kind of will start flagging off.
Do you ever read what's going on in Seattle, Portland, Denver?
Canada.
Canada?
The sellers are gonna freak out.
Well, disruptors can't play anymore.
No, because they're betting on
It's gonna be harder for them to play.
Right, because there's.
Yeah, it's gonna be harder for them to play.
their offers are
Because-
not gonna be accepted.
Right, right. And even it gets harder for them to play when it even does this. What happens when they start holding $1 billion worth of inventory?
Their investors
Shit
are
gets,
saying,
no, it's kind of funny, right? That's the great thing about us is do we ever hold any inventory?
No.
No, we're in great shape. I mean, I got, I don't know, maybe $50 million worth of products that I have fixed overhead, but I don't pay for that overhead. The seller pays for it, right? I think that life gets fascinating for these people when these two things happen, right? Right now in Arizona, it's good, but what happens if LA takes a 5% hiccup? What happens if Seattle takes which they're already experiencing a 5% hiccup-ish? Portland, kind of quiet now. Denver, right?
20% down.
It's how much down?
Breckenridge area is 20% down.
Breckenridge 20% down. And that's where you'll see it first in the second home market. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with our Flagstaff friends. Be ready, Flagstaff. Hopefully, don't wish any goodwill, but be ready. It's kind of interesting, yeah.
To your point, I don't want you guys to fall into the stereotype of somebody when you're going in to present these multiple options for them. So for example, my wife is one of the most frugal people I know on the earth, but she's also a veterinarian. We have a lot of animals. For that reason, whenever I play the agent role and she plays the consumer, and she always wants to go with an open door because she doesn't want anyone to let the animals out.
Oh, yeah.
But if you had a conversation
Convenience.
with her, you would go in there going, I need to tell her that I can sell her home for more money than anyone else. That would be your mindset, and don't fall into that trap because there might be something underneath that you don't know about, like animals being in the house.
So guys, the only reason why somebody will take 10 to 15% off their most precious asset is convenience.
Right.
So you gotta give them that convenience, right? So there's people in our office that'll buy these houses. There's all kinds of people that'll buy these houses. What you need to convince them on is you're not selling them anything. I will take it as your advocate and quote you the best opportunity that's available in all sectors. Because you can do all sectors. Open Door, OfferPad, Sybaris, Redfin, they can't do that. They can't do what you can do. And you need to ask them, be careful, it's a good time to walk. Hire me as your consultant, as your advocate, and I'll get you the best deal, and you will net more money by doing that, right? Now, there's only, and I would tell them that there's only about a 5% chance that you'll end up in wholesale. Because I believe that, unless they want total convenience. If you want to show your house, let's just take it to sports, right? On risk tolerance and probabilities, right? If you want to show your house one time to one consumer and look at one offer, are you getting your best offer? No. It's the same thing as Tom Cruise. If Tom Cruise had 5 movie offers, right, versus 1, he's going to bid the price up, right? I mean, it happens everywhere. It's true capitalism, right? So you need to express those ideas to them. And sometimes I'll get off on odd tangents. I don't even know where Tom Cruise came from, but I'm giving you guys an example. It's the same thing as Tiger Woods. Do you know why Tiger Woods never plays in the Waste Management Open?
Because he got yelled at.
No.
Because that person hugged him at one time.
Wait, why? No.
They shot an 83.
No.
That's like oranges.
Not enough money.
No. Come on.
They're not paying him to come.
They threw oranges at him.
Say it again.
They're not paying him to come.
But who's paying him to come?
Nike.
No?
No.
He gets $1 million to play in Dubai. It's $1 million to play in Dubai. He probably doesn't today.
So,
Yeah,
so Dell,
He still gets $1 million.
is anybody in here in the car business? Or have been? Not now, I know. But I heard a statistic from a CarMax guy that CarMax does 250 appraisals to every 5 cars they buy. Think about it. So it's the
Wow.
same, so basically, when this buyout stuff comes up, I basically say, guys, you need to check out all your options. I'm not afraid if you do. But I will tell you,
Oh, wait, I love that. Say it again.
I say you need to check out all your buying options, because I'm not afraid if you do, because I think you'll realize that, selling it traditionally is still
Yeah,
gonna
and let
net
me
you
help
money.
you, guide you through that.
Right.
For instance, at the last minute on these offer pad deals, there's like a 7% NAB around.
Management fees.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
weird,
yeah.
it's a weird thing that they
Yeah.
can't monetize. Like the consumer can't monetize it.
Yeah, but I've been
Right.
using the CarMax example because you guys, these people aren't buying houses. There's got to be some profitability somewhere. So
Yeah.
basically, they're taking away your profitability.
Absolutely. So and then show them that, right?
Yeah.
So listen,
Story.
here's the deal, right? If the market's doing this, right, and I can sell it here, right? They want to buy it here, and then all this delta here, and you guys have seen my video on this. All this delta here is their profit that should be yours. Just show them that.
Right,
I mean, that's what you're talking about.
Right.
And it's not convenient. It's convenient. It's not convenient for the seller. I'm telling you, because I have people that went through it. It's convenient for them.
Yeah.
It's not convenient for you getting a mover today for $1,000 and pick your move out date. There's people that'll do that.
Yeah.
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 And one last thing, Del, these guys are morphing, they're getting smarter because they know how we're combating it
Yep.
as traditional agents. Has anybody heard of a company called Knock?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Knock is, Knock is,
Trade your home in.
yeah, Knock's a trade your home in. So if somebody, for example, I'm dealing with it, we're going on a.
Oh, Taylor Morrison, I think, just went to that.
Yeah, and so basically what they're doing is they're saying, you want to buy another house, we'll buy your house, and
Yeah.
then, they finagle
Trade-ins.
the whole thing. It's like a trade-in program.
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys, our industry is always under attack, and Dell will tell you, I've been doing this 35 years, you've been doing it close to that. This is new, but it's not new. We've dealt
Yeah,
with this
we've
shit
always-
from
yeah.
the first day that we got in this business, and commissions were at 7%,
Yeah.
and we're getting forced down to 6%, and there were still people doing it at 1%. We've had that since day one. It's just
Right.
knowing how to combat it.
Right. All right, so be prepared for objections. Don't be a salesperson, be a consultant. Go on all 4 angles and be ready for the individual on what they're looking for and why, right? Because convenience, all right, well, if that's your number one concern, convenience, you want to sell it to one person at one look at one time, let me guide you through so you're getting the best option. For instance, that offer that I walked to the expired listing yesterday, I got a competing offer against it because we're $20,000 off. So now I've called the other wholesaler, so to speak, that's an agent friend of mine with a competing company, and he will go up 20 grand. He will go up 20 grand. But here's what's interesting. The seller hasn't hired me. The seller hasn't hired me. So I got an unrepresented compensation agreement in front of him, and I might not even tell him about this other $20,000 offer. I don't represent him.
Yeah.
How can you?
How can I? Well, if he signs a listing
No,
agreement.
how could you tell him like that?
I might not.
Yeah.
You're not under no
You're not-
obligation.
I'm under no obligation to this guy. Yeah. Now, if he hires me, right, which he chooses not to do at this time, right, and he's an older guy. It's a long story, and he's a pack rat. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Seriously, he opened up his garage, and I don't even know how he was in his garage. I mean, it was that. All right.
American Pickers.
Find your fit. Find your fit. People want to cooperate, like experience where they feel like they're the only client that matters, right? So you want to give them that I'll call it the Leslie McDonald, the Leslie McDonald thing. I don't. If anybody ever talked to Leslie, is she? Explain it.
You can't. You can't with her.
Who's else talked to Leslie? Explain it.
You feel like you're the only one in the room.
Yeah, you're the only, anything that you have to say, she wants to hear, and she is totally.
I saw her at Albertsons one time, and it was like, I know.
She's
It
like,
is-
she doesn't see anything else around her but you.
Yeah, and it's like so calming.
She's very calm.
And she's mesmerizing. I mean, and it's not a,
She's got a good voice too, it's
She
the
does.
way she sings.
yeah, it's kind of a librarian, kindergarten teacher.
Nice teacher.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you're all like in a, I mean, it's an amazing
Leslie, we
thing.
love you.
Huh?
Like she may be seeing it.
Oh.
We love you.
But I mean, it is amazing where, you know, where I'm like, oh my God, I can only take 7 minutes of this guy. You know, because I'm jumping out of my skin always.
Can I
It's
tell
just
him what
my
you
nature.
did?
When?
When you talked to that guy Monday morning or whatever it was, we were at
Sure.
your house. He puts him on mute. And he says, this fucker, he doesn't know anything. He says, listen to this guy. He
Oh.
drives me crazy. I
Well,
said,
he did. How long did he go on?
oh, 5 minutes?
He never asked me one time to be a
But he
consultant.
said he never says anything good. I mean, I said, oh, that's on mute. He says, oh yeah. He says, he doesn't even know. He just never listens.
Well, we all have that client, right? We all have that client, but it's brutal. It is brutal. It's brutal out there because we're dealing with everybody's luggage. So people want to cooperate like they feel like they're the only client that matters. A realtor is an individual. If agents aren't responsive upon called on, someone else will serve that void. You need to know better of every aspect of your job. Ultimately, those web services may call upon you, meaning the wholesalers may call upon you to share their venture, right? So one of the things that's happening right now is there's a lot of REITs also that are coming in buying, and they're doing Airbnb and VRBO. But my argument on that is good luck, because, not my argument, my rebuttal is there's CCNRs involved in a lot of these, and you can't do it. We have that guy right now. Well, Bill Jennings, you guys met them.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
He thinks, I don't know, tell him, give him
He
an
loves
update.
Encore, but Encore looks like it might be a 6-month.
I thought you said month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like 6 months.
So be careful on that. So Bill, the guy that you guys met, Bill from Iowa,
Yeah.
wants to buy a place in Greyhawk, but he wants to VRBO it when he's not here.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
All right, you have to
And we're
have
telling him,
the house.
but he didn't like the places where he can VRBO.
I know,
He's like,
it's under
yeah,
400,000.
You gotta get a house.
Yeah.
He did not like.
because there's no
it.
CCNRs. I mean, the places that you can really do it have no HOA and no CCNRs. And you do not want to tell buyers what they want to hear. They're wrong.
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, if a guy next door to me VRBO'd, I'm reporting him.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
so many VRBOs where I live at the villages in Aviano.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
and it's illegal.
Guys coming in and out, I mean, it's like a hotel.
Have you reported them?
Only a couple, but the one guy that he's a past pro football player,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get him pissed at. I heard him get mad.
All right, I think Frank had something he wanted to add.
So Greyhawk, if you own a Greyhawk, it's a minimum of 1 month or 3 months?
It's 30 days now.
Is it 30 days?
30 days.
Well, see, Chris thought it was
30
30.
days in the parks, is that what you're talking about?
Well,
Parks
I know Raptor Retreat is 30 days.
Is it?
That's where you are?
Yeah.
So you could,
Listen, here's my advice to you guys. Do not give counsel there.
yeah.
Tell them to read the CCNRs. Don't, and I wouldn't read them for them and tell them. If somebody wants that model, read the CCNRs.
Yeah.
Because somebody in this room or in our company is going to get nabbed.
Yeah.
It's just like we're already factoring it in, or somebody's going to get. It's the same thing with and I hope it's nobody in here, but it's the same thing with the wire fraud. It's going to happen. It happened recently to another Remax here in town, $50,000,
Where from?
50 grand, a wire
It
fraud.
happens daily. by the
Well,
way.
if-
Yeah, no, I know. That's why it's only about right.
900,000 attempts a month.
Wait,
for
what?
All of our Fidelity brands.
Say it again.
900,000 attempts a month for all the Fidelity brands.
Yeah.
nationwide.
Now, it's okay. How many of those are successful?
99% of them. 99.9%.
You mean-
Or,
No.
Yeah, so even
Yeah.
1%, what's 1% of 990,000?
That's a lot. 990.
999.
No.
1% of 99,000? 1%,
9,900.
900,000.
9,999, 1%.
Okay, well, you can't be having that much.
Less
water.
than 10.
But anyway, it's a mess, and then here's what happens when that happens.
yeah.
The deal blows up.
Was it the buyer's email that got hacked? Was it, I was gonna pick on you, was it Del Rounds? I won't give you that mojo. Was it Del Rounds' email that got hacked? Was it Fidelity's? Was it
Well,
AJF Engineering?
that's, sorry, I have to say.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's the thing, is sometimes they don't even hack. They just create
Alright.
their own email, and let's say for Mercy Perry is an escrow officer in here. Mercy.perry@fnf.com. They'll just add an extra R
Yeah.
in her last name and make
To make
make the
Oh, they'll
FNF
even have
email.
our logo in
And buyers
there.
don't notice, they
Yeah.
don't notice
It's-
because it's so tiny, it's so tiny. And it is the buyers that are the ones that get, sometimes, if they're the ones that are wiring the money, right? So we always, Rob, we always say, or even realtors should say, when you get wire instructions, please call your escrow officer and your realtor just to make sure that that's the right wire instructions. No
It's
matter, no
actually
matter
our
how
whole
sure you are,
message now.
no matter how sure you are, just call. Have
Yeah,
the buyers call.
now, you know that I'm in the front of doing like a big
It's-
loan
they're
right
so
now.
good, these
And
buyers.
these banks are sending me all these security emails where you gotta click on it, passwords, email, like kind of text message verification, all this stuff, and I'm like, my God, I'm not even gonna open the freaking thing, call me.
Yeah, just call me.
Yeah, where are you at? Oh, you're in Tempe, I'll come down and see you. I mean, because it's like,
I'll tell you when that becomes reality, you hear it, until you see your name attached to an email that you didn't send out. And I didn't,
Yeah.
I've heard it, and in a class, Melissa brought an email that had her name, it said Melissa Finelli, branch manager, escrow officer, and that's when it really hit me, I went, shit, that's my family name.
yeah, on some,
Yeah.
And it was like $120,000 wire, and I'd have heard it, but when you see your name attached, and it could be any one of us.
so they stopped it?
Oh, yeah, they got it. But question for you, does our E&O coverage cover wire fraud?
We've tried,
That'd be really.
It's
So-
too
well,
rampant, you couldn't afford it.
it is, a couple of things. The Remax owner that got hacked, his had it, and I believe ours has a writer on it, drive a freight train through it. Meaning if,
Doesn't.
and, but, and, or, this, that. So I'm gonna go with no. Your general liability won't cover it, your umbrella insurance won't cover it. And then, because you have multiple parties involved, it's kind of like everybody was at a party, right? And the roof caved in, who was ultimately responsible, right? I mean, it's just, it's a terrible thing. So I'm telling all my buyers and sellers, hey, it takes an extra half hour, go pick it up,
Right.
drop it off. Just back to old school.
I just had a-
Until at least things settle down and the industry figures it out. I'm sorry, Chris was first.
My seller just got hacked the day before closing. Her email got hacked. Isn't that funny? Just the day before closing.
Wow.
Yeah, but
But
is that
they're
funny
looking
or
for that
it's, I don't believe
transaction.
that's a coincidence.
Oh, it's not. No.
Yeah,
Not at all.
yeah. So, somebody was probably trying to,
Yeah.
They're trolling your email from day
Oh,
one.
yeah.
They just wait till the perfect opportunity.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They just don't let you know.
So
they're-
I always tell people, if you're not gonna use Fidelity, at least use a big title company, because some of these smaller title companies, if they get wire instructions that says, oh, we decided to vacation in the Caymans, can you please send the money there, and they do it, that could literally wipe them out, because they don't have the reserves to cover that, and if you've ever, I've been in this business long enough where I've showed up to a title company, I was a lender before, so I showed up to a title company, doors are locked, your file's in there, people are standing outside scratching on the door wanting to sign, it's not a pretty situation, so even if you don't use Fidelity, my recommendation is use a big title company, not one of the small rinky-dink ones.
All right, who came here today for a specific reason? Yeah,
Ich habe kurz vor you to do with
the
that.
French people? All right, here we go. All right, so these are French, this is somebody that's French.
Hey, might be French.
They might be French,
But might be French.
because their last name is Bonjour.
No, it's not.
Or baguette.
It went from French to might be French. All right, Myrrh?
No, yes. She bought in.
Okay, now have you, so you haven't talked to these people, right? Okay, and is this an expired, what is this?
No, that's a, no, it's not expired. She bought in 98.
Okay, so this is a pure cold call.
Yeah.
Okay, Myrrh. Is that how you pronounce your name, Myrrh?
I believe. I think it's middle.
Okay, now, so you're calling without a purpose, right? You're just kind of like, what makes you think she might be doing something, or what makes you think that this could be a lead?
I have no clue.
No idea. Is this,
Just to give me because I target and expecting them to be on average.
right, but what makes, how did you filter this to think that they speak French?
Oh, it was done with a title of French.
1% here.
At first.
So how would you guys do that? How would you think that this person is French?
I don't know what they do. Yeah, actually.
So her name is Myrrh.
I Google everything.
She said she.
Okay, here we go. That's what it is. I don't have a lot to go on. I'm more purposeful, more like a little bit more sniper, even though I am shotgun, when I make these types of calls. So you want to say we're the French Connection? What was that movie about?
Drug dealers.
Oh. We're not the French Connection.
Yeah, that's a good lead.
Okay, I'm leaving a message. Hey Myrrh, Dell Rounds with Remax Fine Properties in reference to your house on Moab. I have an agent in our office that speaks fluent French, and I was just wondering if that could be helpful in your future real estate needs. You can reach me at 602-809-7653 when you get a moment. You can also Google me. My full name is Delbert Rounds, and you'll see that I've been selling the 85253 zip code for over 20 years. Anyway, hope to talk to you soon. Happy Thursday, and let me know how and your thoughts around it. My partner that speaks the fluent French is Arnaud, and he can be reached at 480-747-7162. This is the area of focus that he chooses to be in Arizona real estate, and I think this call can be helpful either now or in the future. Okay, Myrrh, hope to talk to you soon. Bye. I don't know how else to go about
Where did that call originate?
That was good.
So, well, go ahead. I don't know.
Why did that call originate?
Oh, why?
Yeah, I don't think we heard
So
that. story.
Arnaud has some type of filtering system where he believes these people are French, and because he speaks fluent French, he's hoping that that's going to be a segue for him.
And by the way, the first person I called, I got a listing. So I'm like, if I call 100 people.
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
So a couple of
So you
things.
picked on it by name, or did you hear something that gave you that indication?
No, I know, but this one I know it was expired like from like over 6 months. So it was like a plus in it.
So how can Fidelity help Arnaud get expired French people?
I have a list here. I have a list.
Well, it
1200
doesn't even
French
have
people
to
in
be
the valley.
expired, maybe it could
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
anybody.
Just
that's
expired, I
French.
don't know. If
Okay, so here's my advice.
Somebody.
You Mexican?
I would love to help Arnaud on this, but I speak one language and I barely speak that well. I think
I am, so I can
Arnaud,
say
I
that.
think you're going to be better making these yourself
Yeah.
and really open up by bonjour.
Yeah.
And whoa, how did they, so, but I don't know how, you've been capitalizing that well. Let me give you an example. I had a French person call me about a year and a half ago that was working at Shea. Remember you helped him with the rental?
Oh yes, sure.
And man, I referred them to Arnaud, and he like totally embraced, and I think they've even sent you referrals at this stage,
Yeah,
right?
still want that, yeah.
Arnaud, there's French, if you go to meetup.com, there's French communities.
Yeah, I know.
Do you do that?
Well, they are dead communities. It's not working anymore.
None of them?
So now.
What about the,
Oh.
what about the, you know how we have American embassies in other places?
Yeah.
Is there a French,
There's one,
Place.
I know this.
Make sure
yeah, something like that? If there's something there, maybe they can help you with,
Yeah, I spoke with him, but they don't do that since many years too. The only will help is like if you need a lawyer, which is, but they won't give
But
like
maybe
your name
go,
away.
maybe go talk to a lawyer from
But
them,
I met
and
with him
then-
once in a while, yeah.
and then maybe ask him where he mingles with other people who speak fluent French. I don't know. I think
Yeah, and
it's
ask him
something-
what other groups you can tie into. I think you got something going
I
there
think so
because,
too. I think
yeah,
it's-
I think it's
really
good.
good niche.
And he's proven that once he finds a person that speaks French, he's in it. Like, did you see at the holiday party how my wife's eyes lit up when you guys started speaking French?
No.
I did. I haven't seen that look in a long time.
Come here, honey.
She's got a cutout of Arnaud.
Well, because my wife has like 5 years of French. She was in honors and even took 2 years of French in college. Anyway, all right. So today, I only had like 6 of these. Today, you guys will all get a copy of this in your email. So these are 100 websites when you list with a RE/MAX agent that you're a part of. Thanks to Matthew for putting this list together. There was only 75 and he updated it now, so it should be pretty updated. Where did you get the other 25?
Number of sources, MLS, like where their IDX feeds, RE/MAX International, and then just kind of followed the
Yeah, thank you
the
for
funnel.
Very helpful, because when these guys go out there to you know, consult, right, and try to move the bar to their favor, this will be helpful, right? Yeah. So you guys will all get this today. All right, did anybody else bring something to call, and how are we doing on time? I got 3 minutes. We can go a little, those of you who have to go, feel free, but you have, what do you have?
This is one, it's interesting, it's a FISBO, and it's in Guilford Church in Greyhawk.
Oh.
It was under contract, the owner says it was under contract, but fell out.
Oh.
Could not, back on the market, was under contract, buyer could not perform, and was listed less than a week before it going under contract. If you're interested, don't hesitate.
Okay, so who wants to have dialogue with me as a for sale by owner? So when I call this guy, it's gonna be really easy, because what am I gonna ask him? What's my segue?
When are you gonna do an open house?
When are you gonna do an open house? And what's he gonna say?
This weekend.
And I'm gonna say, perfect, Saturday or Sunday.
Probably Sunday, between 12 and 4.
Great, 12 to 4?
Yeah.
Do you care if I come about 11:45 just to check it out before the open house?
I'll have to check with my wife, but no, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, great, see you at 11:45. It's
You're just
that.
gonna go by. Okay.
And then I'm just gonna go by. Because, well, and I'm gonna show you, and the reason why, if anyway, I'm tagging on to something that he's already has, and nothing's gonna happen till you meet him anyway.
15
Right.
minutes is no big deal.
15 minutes is no big deal. All right, so do you have a number? And,
Right down.
oh good, and his name is Summer?
Summer, it's a girl.
Oh, Summer Thurston. Oh, and it's an out-of-state number.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. And
Just
then
what you
here's
want
the-
to know, state owners, or sell by owner.
Okay, ready? Summer Thurston.
I'll be there next month.
Hey, Summer, Dell Rounds with RE/MAX Fine Properties in reference to your house on Gilded Perch.
Yes,
Are you running an open house this weekend?
we are not.
Oh, rats. When are you, because I don't want to bother you, but when might you be showing it again?
I am showing it tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Okay,
So, and I will have my baby here, which will be the time for work after that. So I don't know if tomorrow morning worked, if it's
Write down baby.
a pre-qualified buyer. We're definitely being very about that because we just got we were under contract with somebody that was supposedly pre-qualified and came to find out was nowhere near qualified. So I'm very, like right before we were supposed to be moving. So I'd already packed, and so it's been a little bit of a
oh,
headache. So
that stinks.
it does.
All right, well, so if I heard you right, do you care if my partner Chris and I come by at 9:30 to take a quick look?
For a buyer? Or
Yes.
what are you-
Okay, so go to greyhawk.com
Okay.
This is, I'm only sharing this with you. And then you'll land on the rounds team or the RTT group. And we probably represent, I'm gonna go with about 40 buyers successfully in Greyhawk a year. And we always like private inventory because our buyers get excited when we say, hey, we have something that's not on the MLS.
Right.
So we like to be aware of everything. Are you cooperating with buyers agents?
Yes, I did that on the last one, which didn't go.
It's always
I'll
yes.
tell you just because it was a really bad, the way that it just all went down the past couple of days.
So I'm halfway there.
So I am, the buyer or the agent that I have coming tomorrow was somebody that was a backup offer or interested in making a backup offer, but we thought they were already past that point, so they're coming to see it tomorrow morning. And like I said, when I first put it on the market, I had like 3 sellers it was under contract within a week. So I expect that it's going to go pretty quick, which is
You have any buyers in
what
this
I'm
question?
hoping because that's what we thought we were already done. Okay, so you're not looking for a specific buyer, you're just trying to see.
Yeah, we want to put it in our kind of off-market inventory, so to speak.
Okay.
But once you Google, so my name is Delbert Rounds, my partner is Chris Usher. But once you Google us, you'll see that I'm not, I'm here to just, help buyers and, help you, move the ball a little bit. And then you don't know now, and we only work, if we engage, there's a very high probability of success. Like for instance, the industry's fallout ratio is around 15% right now, but the rounds team fallout ratio is probably around 6%. And that's mostly around inspections, it's not because of financing.
Yeah, and we went through, they obviously, it's a skin inspection, and we had 0
It's a good lead.
there was literally nothing wrong with the system. Like had pool filters cleaned and had some other things cleaned up, so there was nothing major, and it was totally financing, and I feel like we really got burned on that because we went under contract, we were supposed to have all the loan status updates and everything, and the ones I was getting, apparently they weren't signed, so now they're not legit, and I didn't even notice that they had left some details off, and I talked to the bank, and they hadn't even applied for the loan that I did status updates on, and they didn't even qualify for half the purchase price, so it's very, I spent a lot of time and effort, and I just feel like, and I mean, this was through a buyer, it was a realtor, and I'm like, I feel like I was sharing, so I feel very,
No, that's
very
good.
cautious.
Well, remember Summer.
The
Yeah.
first house I've sold, I've done this a lot, so
Oh, she's done it a lot.
She's definitely the
She's
most
done, write that down.
unethical-
She's,
This is one of the most unethical things I think I've ever dealt with, so.
oh man, well, remember the buyer's agent represents the buyer, right? Yeah.
Exactly,
Oh.
so, yeah.
All right, does 9:30 work?
9:30 doesn't need to because we'll still have, my little one will still be here, and,
Oh,
I'm trying to think of,
maybe afterwards.
let's see.
Well, your showing's at 10, right?
It's at 10,
No, well, 9, we're gonna see, you just gotta see what works here. I think whatever time she throws out, I'm gonna say yes.
we can try to do 9:30. I'm gonna have to check and see if I can't get my, baby picked up a little bit sooner then, because.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter.
So you're saying 9:30 tomorrow?
Yeah, 9:30, and then I'll send you my shared contact and my partner's shared contact. But let's go for 9:30, and then we can remain flexible. We have 2 offices right here in Greyhawk. We have one on the northwest corner of Pima and Thompson Peak Parkway, and Hayden at the Fry's Center. But we just moved some of that furniture to our Flagstaff office. But if you look up 85255, you'll see that we're hyper local. My office has been in the 85255 zip code for 25 years. So you'll see some good stuff. Greyhawk.com. And then, so if you click on real estate services, you'll land right on our landing page. So the developer of Greyhawk is a very good friend of mine, Greg Trias, and we're part of the Greyhawk group. So if you look at our Greyhawk market share and you see the Hawk and the Greyhawk, that's a patented trademark that we have access to. So we're hyper local. We yep.
Okay, yeah, and we're definitely, I'm fine working with you, we're definitely not working with any, we're not listing it with any pages.
Oh, yes, you
so,
are. Yes, you are. You just don't know it. Okay, that sounds great. So we're really looking forward to it, and yeah, you sound that you know a lot around about the real estate services. So that's good.
All right,
Oh.
thank you, then we will see you tomorrow at 9:30 then.
Sounds great, Summer.
Okay, thank you,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Now you owe me $10 on that one. Last week we had
Wait, can I take the bet every week?
Dallas has it. No,
Every week?
but you're right. So we did. I could have visited with Tanya's ex, right? Don't you agree?
Right, right.
Could we have signed him?
I think we would have signed him.
I think we would have
immediately.
signed him. Did he sign with a Remax guy?
I don't know.
Okay.
You could-
So let's call it 50-50. Give us back our 5 each. I should have bet you
I already
again.
have Tony.
Oh no, it's all right. You can pay us later. All right, so guys, now remember, I did that. Today was a little bit of everything. How long did it take you to find that one FSBO? How much research?
Oh, I just pulled it, right at 30 seconds.
30 seconds. All right, 30 seconds. That call was how long?
Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So we have 7 minutes into this. It's not quite a listing appointment. Would you agree? That's not a listing appointment.
No.
It's not a listing appointment. But are we getting out there to meet somebody and say, hey, Del Rounds, damn glad to meet you. What's going on, right?
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, her mom's moving here.
Right.
Her CFO of her company is moving, and there's a relo and says, hey man, this Chris and Del guy, I mean, they're pretty cool, right? So we know that if you do nothing, nothing's gonna happen, right? But we know if you stir the pot and you smack something, the barrel falls over, stuff happens. So all I'm asking you guys to do, I did that in 7 minutes with even research, right? All I'm asking you guys to do is do it. Is maybe just do it an hour a day. Just an hour a day. And it's amazing. You will see huge results.
Chris, is Gilder Perch in Raptor?
Yes, it's in Renaissance.
Okay.
So you will
No,
see
it's in
huge.
Talent.
You will see huge results. Even if it's an open house, right? I mean, they're going to hire somebody. Even if it's a friend of a friend, for SOI or walk the neighborhood walk or whatever that looks like for you, whatever your skill set is. But you gotta find that. And the only way, the only way you know you like tacos is you've tried salads, you've tried steaks, you've tried sushi, you've tried, right? And you like tacos. Right? You got to eat everything. So try all these marketing ideas until you find one that works for you. Did you ever solidify that multi-deal with Patrick? Did he give you the list?
No. I'm working on this one right now.
Okay.
It's more beneficial for
All right, so your goal today is to get through every one of those phone calls.
500 in a day.
No, the 2 sheets you showed me.
Yeah.
Okay, your goal today is to get through those 2 sheets. And you guys, I'm the same way. I got to fight to do
My question
that.
is what keyword I need to bring. Because it's not about expired or anything.
No, I know. It's a flat out cold call. It's the same thing as calling out of Yellow Pages. I understand that.
That's a keyword.
But guys, I'm the same way. You got to fight through that. Like sometimes I'll look at myself and say, okay, listen, I'm not going to leave this seat because I'm kind of jumpy, right? I'm not going to leave this seat until I make 5 phone calls. Or I'm not grabbing a cup of coffee or using the restroom until I call 5 people, right? And then sometimes I'll be at the office at 4 o'clock and I say I got nothing on my schedule the next day, and I'm saying I'm not leaving the office until I have an appointment. Even if it is for sale by owner. Better than a poke in the eye, right? I created an at-bat where I was on the bench 7 minutes ago. And here's what the bench looks like. Right? Now we can prepare for a listing appointment, right? Somewhat, right? We can share with her the choice marketing and saying, hey, listen, we're not going to compete with you. You do everything you're doing now, And if this buyer that you showed it today buys the house, we don't want anything. But we're gonna bring you this whole other segment here of pre-qualified buyers, buyers that are ready to buy today, that we're gonna vet them for you. We're gonna negotiate for you. We have a whole concierge program to take you through the inspection period. When there's a hiccup in the appraisal, we're gonna advocate for you on price, right? There's a whole list of services that we give. She probably doesn't know, and this is something we're gonna show you tomorrow, that even if she signs a purchase agreement with this guy that's coming through at 9:30, right? That, how long does the loan contingency last in our AAR contract?
Up till closing, right? Till it's enough, yeah,
I bet she doesn't know that.
right?
She doesn't know a lot about it.
So let's say she goes into escrow with this buyer's agent, and they write it on an AAR purchase contract, right? And the closing is April 20th. April 20th. On the 19th, if she gets a loan rejection, does the buyer get his earnest money back?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna share that with her tomorrow, right? So make sure you ask for non-refundable earnest money. Hey, who's your title company you're gonna use? Fidelity's right down the street. Do we have another title company here?
Not today.
So do you guys approach for sell by owners?
They used to.
Yes.
We have stuff for you to approach.
No. Do you approach for sell by owners?
No.
Why? This escrow's going somewhere. Why would it go to you?
Good point.
Ha! All right.
I'll
Anyway,
leave it
it's
at
fun
that.
to do that, right? Mortgage.
Yeah,
Yes,
should be there.
you guys should be calling it. Absolutely. Where are you going to
Right,
next? We're going to
there's only
50
24
states,
hours
right?
in a day.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, you guys get it. That was 7 minutes. Remember, you got 8 hours a day unless you're lead follow-up, or you're negotiating or presenting. Right? Those are the only other 3 things we're doing. So today, and you can't do the other 3 unless you do what I just did. And then you got 8 hours a day. Now I know you got buyer's agency and you got other things going on. Maybe you're building a website. I realize you guys, maybe you're developing a business card or, that kind of stuff. But other than that, you need to lead generate. And even if you're sitting at a vacant house on a Thursday, it's better than a poke in the eye. And even if you're talking to sister, brother, uncle, cousin in Florida, asking them, or any of your neighbors selling, you can get a referral fee, right? Some of these referral fees are massive. Agent Connect.
E-broker match.
E-broker match. You don't even have to do it. You can call Finelli, and I think you still get your total percentage, right? You do.
A whole bit.
Yeah. You don't even have to do it. All you gotta do is call Finelli and say, hey, do you have anybody in Naples, Florida? Give him the address, the name and number and email address of the seller, and you're done. You don't even have to do anything else.
Well, Colleen really does all the work. Hey, now, and real quick, so for whoever superpowers door knocking, Colleen and I are gonna do we're gonna knock a just sold that we just had. Is there a time frame that you recommend where most people are home?
Absolutely.
When is
And I gotta tell you guys this, I'm not doing it, okay? I'm not doing this. So this is one time where I will say that I never asked you to do something that I'm not currently doing, but I will say this, I did do it when I was young and I had no other alternative, okay? So if you have the stamina and you're really hungry, which I hope a lot of you in the room are, you want to do it on Saturday and Sundays from noon to 5. I know. I never said, Nora, how often did I tell you that this job is hard? It's hard. Because you know what? I know where I want to be on a Saturday and Sunday from noon to 5.
Watching football.
No, let me put it this way. I don't want to be doing this. All right, but
Well, you hope those people are home watching football or baseball.
they are.
Right, that's.
I can tell you they are. They are. They're out blowing leaves, especially this time of year. They're out blowing leaves. The kid's riding his bike.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Which, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out. So Matthew's going to get mad at me. We have an award coming up, and